Everything you will ever become begins with a single voice, the one inside your own head. That voice is your greatest weapon or your deadliest enemy. Empires have risen because of it, and empires have crumbled because of it. Before the world believes in you, before anyone invests in you, before opportunity knocks, you must conquer the dialogue that no one else can hear. Change that voice, and you change your destiny. There is a voice inside you right now, and it is either building your future or burying it. That voice decides whether you rise or whether you fall. It is the invisible hand shaping your destiny, the unseen architect of every success and every failure. And the truth is, most people never realize they are prisoners of their own self-talk. They beg for freedom, but the chains are forged by the very words they repeat to themselves. If you can change that voice, you can change everything. Have you ever stopped to notice the voice inside your head? The one that never stops speaking? The one that whispers doubts when you dream? That questions your worth when you rise? That floods your heart with fear right before you're about to step into greatness? That voice has built empires, and it has destroyed them. That voice has raised kings and queens, and it has buried souls before their time. The world will try to convince you that circumstances define you, that your background defines you, that luck or fate decides your future. But history tells us a different story. History tells us that men and women who changed their lives first changed their self-talk. Think of Thomas Edison, a boy labeled too stupid to learn anything, expelled from school, mocked for his failures. Thousands of experiments failed. Thousands of nights alone, working in the dim light of oil lamps. But what did Edison whisper to himself in those dark hours? He told himself he was not failing, he was learning. He told himself he was moving closer, step by step, to the inevitable breakthrough. If Edison had repeated the words his teachers had spoken, too stupid, too slow, too hopeless, the light bulb would have never lit, and perhaps the modern world would still be in darkness. Your inner dialogue is not harmless. It is the architect of your destiny. Every thought you allow to echo within you lays a brick in the house of your future. Tell yourself you are weak, and life will hand you chains. Tell yourself you are destined, and life will hand you the keys. The truth is brutal. Most people are prisoners of their own self-talk. They beg for freedom while holding the key in their own pocket. The question is not whether you talk to yourself, because you do every day. The question is, what are you saying? Do you repeat the stories of defeat handed down by parents who gave up on their dreams? Do you echo the judgments of teachers who never saw your potential? Do you replay the doubts of friends who feared your ambition? Or do you choose to become the commander of your mind, the general of your thoughts, the master of your inner kingdom? Henry Ford once said, "Whether you think you can or think you can't, you are right." Understand the depth of that truth. A man's belief has the power to summon the impossible into reality. Ford was told his vision of affordable automobiles was insane, impossible, childish. The experts told him it could not be done. Yet his self-talk refused to echo their voices. He repeated one phrase, "It can be done. It will be done." And so it was. When you tell yourself you are not good enough, you train your nervous system to freeze in the presence of opportunity. When you whisper, "I can't," your body obeys and collapses under pressure. But when you begin to speak with conviction, when your mind hears over and over again that you are resilient, that you are capable, that you are chosen for greatness, your physiology transforms. Your posture changes. Your energy sharpens. Your very presence begins to command respect. Think of the great Abraham Lincoln, a man born in a log cabin, who failed in business, lost in politics again and again, buried his beloved, and walked through shadows of despair darker than most can imagine. But what did Lincoln tell himself in those silent nights? He reminded himself that failure was not the end, it was preparation. He whispered that purpose was greater than pain, that destiny would not be denied. His self-talk carried him through defeat after defeat until, finally, he rose to become the president who preserved a nation. Do you see the pattern? Every great achievement, every monumental leap in human progress, was not the result of perfect circumstances. It was not the product of luck. It was the triumph of a mind that spoke victory into the silence. A mind that drowned out fear with courage, that replaced doubt with discipline, that turned wounds into wisdom. Right now, you are living under the spell of your words. If your inner dialogue is poisoned, your life will be poisoned. If your self-talk is weak, your actions will be weak. If your thoughts are small, your results will be small. But the moment you change your self-talk, you change your story. And when you change your story, you change your life. So ask yourself, what are you rehearsing every morning when you look in the mirror? Do you wake up rehearsing yesterday's failures? Or do you speak tomorrow's victories? Do you allow your past to be the author of your present? Or do you seize the pen and write the future with boldness? Listen carefully. This is not about repeating empty affirmations with no belief. This is about speaking words of power until your soul believes them. It is about planting seeds of strength so deep in your subconscious that doubt cannot uproot them. It is about rewriting the script that runs your life. Because the world will not believe in you until you believe in yourself. And belief does not begin with applause. It does not begin with recognition. It begins in the silence, with the words you whisper when no one else can hear. The silence is where destinies are born. Not in the noise of the crowd, not in the celebration of victory, but in the invisible conversations you have with yourself when the world isn't watching. Every empire begins in silence. Every breakthrough is whispered in the shadows before it's shouted in the light. Walt Disney walked through silence. He was fired from a newspaper job for lacking imagination. His first company went bankrupt. He faced rejection after rejection when he pitched his vision of a mouse that could captivate the hearts of millions. Do you know what he was told? That nobody would ever watch a mouse on screen, that the idea was ridiculous, childish, unmarketable. Yet what did Disney say to himself in those moments when rejection pressed down like a mountain on his chest? He told himself the world was wrong. He told himself his vision mattered. He repeated words of courage until they became unshakable belief. That self-talk gave birth to a kingdom that now entertains billions across the earth. And this is the truth that so many overlook. Life does not respond to your complaints. It responds to your commands. The universe bends not to your weakness but to your conviction. If you tell yourself you are unworthy, your actions will carry the energy of unworthiness, and the world will mirror it back to you. But if you speak with authority, if you stand tall in your own thoughts, declaring that you are capable, resilient, and destined, the world eventually has no choice but to bow to that certainty. Napoleon Hill, after studying the giants of industry, revealed the same secret. Success begins in the mind. The men who built fortunes were not the most educated, nor the most connected. They were the ones who mastered the dialogue within themselves. Andrew Carnegie, the steel magnate,